nice and hot. And I like the bread nice and crusted for this because I'm going to spread it with mousse pate, truffle mousse pate. You can look for that right in the regular grocery store. You'd be so surprised. I used to work in gourmet foods, and absolutely everything we sold is now available right in the regular store. It's awesome. And at terrific prices, close to wholesale, which is always a big bargain for me. I love getting anything for a great price. Okay, I'm just gonna get my buns on here, get them under the broiler, and try not to burn them up. I'm just looking for a light toast on these guys so that I don't jam the pate into the bread. I want that beautiful truffle mousse pate to sit up on the bread. Lightly toast those. And I gathered up some ingredients over the break for a quick salad, quick but luxurious. You know, I remember not too long ago, you used to have to go to a gourmet market for even these mixed baby greens. Now, not only can you get them in the regular grocery store, but hello, they are ready to use. Love that. A few handfuls of those, all those beautiful baby lettuces. Yummy. Now I'm gonna add a little fresh tarragon, because this is a decidedly French take on burgers and fries that I'm doing here. I decided tarragon would be great in this salad because it's so perfect with Dijon mustard, and a Dijon dressing is very French. Now, tarragon is delicious. I really enjoy it. It's got a licoricey, almost sweet kind of a flavor, and a little goes a long way. Now, I often do this. Instead of chopping the herb and adding it to the dressing, I just take a few sprigs and add the fresh herbs right to the lettuce and toss it up all together. That ought to do it there. Now a mild, let me just wipe my counter down here, a mild green onion taste I thought would be nice in here. So I'm just going to slice up a couple scallions real quick. Now you can use all of a scallion, the green and the white. I do trim off the very end of the green if it looks a little rough like this, because that would be tough. Run my knife through that on an angle. And scatter that over the salad. I'm going to grab those buns. I get very worried about them. I'm a little bit paranoid. That's fine. They're a little bit toasty. They're not brown, but it's fine for me. I don't want to push my luck with these guys. And they're nice and warmed through. I think it'll be just fine. Put them over here so they don't scar up the counter. That would be a good idea, huh? Now I'm going to make a quick, simple dressing. Teaspoon of Dijon. Never met a mustard I didn't like. A little splash of white wine vinegar. You could use red wine too, whatever you have in the house. You're going for about a tablespoon here. And then all you have to do is remember that you want 3 to 1 when it comes to fat to acid in your dressing. So I'm going to whisk in the oil. I'm going to get the pate on the bottom of these buns. You know, this would be a great, really fun meal to entertain with. It's luxurious because it's got fresh herbs and the wild mushrooms and the pate, but it's really affordable because we're literally going to spread the pate among all 4 servings, a very small amount of pate. Dressing's done. Pop that off to the side. Just add a little salt and pepper to the salad later. Now, the pate, you can look for this right in the regular grocery stores near the specialty cheese case. This is a mousse of foie gras pate, goose liver mousse pate, with truffles going all the way through it. Very affordable. And all you're going to do is spread the bottom or the top, doesn't matter, one side of your bun with 1/4 of the pate. So you've got about an ounce here. Excellent. I have to take another quick break, but come on back because this luxurious and delicious meal is about to hit the table. Inexpensive and luxurious. I have got foie gras, that's goose liver, and truffle pate, a mousse pate, spread all over my toasted buns. I'm topping it with my beef bourguignon burger, my beef and burgundy burger with the burgundy wine and the fresh thyme and the shallots. Now I'm going to top it off with a little red leaf lettuce. Have that all cleaned up here. I'll show you on my plate. Red leaf lettuce right on top of the burger that sits on top of the pate that Rachel built. And then I've got some Dijon mustard here. I'm going to smother the top of the bun with that. And I've got some cornichon to go with it. Beautiful. Now, if you can't find cornichon, these little fancy pickles, you can use baby gherkins. That goes right on top. And then alongside, wow, how's this instead of fries? Wild mushrooms. These are my portobello fries with cheese and breadcrumbs and flat leaf parsley. Grilled portobellos inside instead of just a plain old potato. Put that down here, and I have a lovely salad of mixed baby greens with my Dijon dressing and fresh tarragon. Pretty fancy, very delicious. Have fun eating this one. I'm Rachel Ray. Thanks for watching. And remember, a great meal, it's never more than 30 minutes away.
Easy and simple and very satisfying. That is a platter of cheeses. You can have as few as 3, as many as you like. What I recommend is an assortment of cheeses. Cheese types, at least 1 goat, maybe 1 sheep, some soft, some hard, a blue. And on this board, we have that sort of arrangement. This is a Pierre Robert, a rich, glorious triple creme, very buttery. From Corsica, a mild sheep smoked cheese called Bran d'Amour, very versatile, pairs nicely with many wine types. Blues are very popular. This is a Shropshire Blue from England. And hard cheeses, some people want only hard cheeses. This is a mimolette, a well-aged mimolette from northern Normandy. And then, of course, one of the greatest, Parmigiano Reggiano. In serving a cheese platter such as this, I recommend serving bread, of course, or crackers. Simple bread is nice, baguette is wonderful, or a very simple cracker, not a flavored cracker. Also, fruits that are high in pectin, such as apples and pears. Some people do like grapes. I think they're fine, too. At a cocktail party, cheese is a fun food. It's very simple. It's easy to prepare. All you have to do, pretty much, is buy it. Buy it as close to the date that you're going to actually consume it, instead of trying to store it yourself overnight. In determining the amount of cheese to buy for a group of, say, 20 people, I think it's good to select anywhere from a 1/4 pound to a 1/2 pound at the most of any one cheese. If you had 8 cheeses, you might want to have just about a 1/4 pound of each cheese. Also, if you have an eclectic mix and you have cheeses from here and there and various types and colors and shapes and sizes, it is a great conversational food. There's such a big variety. So try serving cheese, and I think it'll be an instant success for you.
Of that stuff that it really, I tell you, it does not even taste like sugar, the liquid that comes out of the tree. It takes 40 gallons to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. Wow, but it's so good, and it's natural. It's been around forever. Anyway, let's come on down and get started with our first recipe, which is maple pot de creme. Pot de creme just means it's like a baked custard. And we'll get all our ingredients in here. We have some cream. It's a wonderful comfort dessert. You could make it with fresh pumpkin. If you were going to do that, you'd use sugar pumpkins, which are the best ones. Actually, I'd use those little weenie pumpkins and roast them, then scoop it out. A lot of professional chefs actually like to use the canned pumpkin, believe it or not, because it's more consistent in texture. Some of those sugar pumpkins are very watery. So in goes our canned pumpkin, and then, of course, our maple syrup. Now, as I said, Grade B is what I use for everything. Why bother with anything else? You know, the light amber, you know, it's lighter, it's prettier. I don't care. I want the flavor. And I actually discovered this years ago. I was testing some recipes in Gourmet's Test Kitchen, and I was trying to get maple flavor into something, and I just couldn't do it. You know, I was even thinking of reaching for maple syrup, you know, that in a jar, that flavoring, like an extract. And then I said, no, there's got to be another way. And somebody tipped me off and said, hey, just use Grade B. It's delicious. So that's what I've done ever since. And for my pancakes, too. We bring this up to a simmer, which is what we've done here. And now let me just beat up some eggs here. I've got, well, egg yolks. We've got, this is very eggy. We're going to add some cinnamon, a little bit of salt, and some nutmeg. Whoops, I don't want this coming charging out at me. Nutmeg is great, used judiciously. We've got the whole nutmeg. Anytime you can, just try to use the whole nutmeg. It's so much better than the stuff that's already been ground up. You can use your microplane for this. That was a nutmeg grinder, but you know those microplanes we use for, oh, I don't know, cheese and chocolate and ginger. All right, I'm adding my hot mixture. You add it in a stream, whisking furiously because we don't want our eggs to curdle. And then, because we want this to be a smooth custard, we're going to put this through a sieve. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we're looking for that silken texture, so why not? It's just one extra step. We're going to put it right into a measuring cup. These measuring cups are so useful for doing exactly what I'm about to do. I just bang it to get the rest of that out of there. I'll actually smush it a little bit too, because then it's much easier to pour. And we're going to do individual ones. You can do big ones too. Here we go. Yeah, it always works better just to hit it. I actually learned that from Jacques Pepin. All right, almost there. We're going to go put it into our pint size, our little ramekins. Let's say we got it all there. And we've lined our baking pan with paper towels, and that's so that when these go into the oven, they don't slide around. Let me just get a few filled, and then I'll tell you what happens next. You get them all filled. Oh, it smells so yummy and pumpkin-y. Then we take some boiling water, hot water, and we pour it into the pan till it goes halfway up the sides of the ramekins. We pop this into 325-degree oven, and we bake them till they're just firm, about 35 to 40 minutes. Alrighty, when we come back, it's on to... Oops, I want to try to keep my garlic hands off of here. We have some corn syrup, and we have a little bit of salt. We're going to bring this up to a boil and let it simmer until it reaches a temperature of 300 degrees. I'll be right back to show you our finished crackly maple almond brittle. Welcome back. We're getting our brittle ready here. What happens when it's just about ready is it foams up, which it's doing now. That's when it gets to 300 degrees, which is hard crack in candy language. I've got some toasted almonds here, and now I'm just going to throw those guys right in there and stir them up. And we've set up, the recipe of course says to put it onto a marble slab. Who has a marble slab kicking around at home? That's because marble is cool, it will cool fast, it's easy to get off of marble. But instead, woof, those fumes just came up at me. We've just lined a sheet pan with some foil, didn't even oil the foil, and out goes, whoa, it's heavy, your candy. And this, you gotta work quickly because this hardens fast. And we just want to spread it into a thin layer because this is, after all, brittle, so it shouldn't be chunky brittle, it should be thin brittle. Take your offset spatula and just spread it all over the place. And by the way, we just toasted our almonds in like a 400-degree oven for 5 minutes. You can go for lower temperature for longer. Spread it as far out as you can. I probably should have oiled my offset spatula here so it didn't stick so much. And then just let it sit. Now you see how easy this is? This would make a lovely gift for somebody if you're going over to their house just for after dinner with coffee. And here we have some. You see how hard it gets. I already loosened it, just peeled off the foil. And then you just break it into pieces, sort of whatever piece you like. Here you go. And then you can just put it in a bowl, put it on a plate, serve it with coffee. Everybody gets happy. I'll do a few more. Oh, this is also really good. Now I'm thinking. This would be a great garnish for our pumpkin pot de creme. You just stick a few of these shards in the top of the custard, and it's a yummy counterpoint. All right, let's go on down and make our mustard sauce for the ham, our mustard maple sauce. And guess what? This just couldn't be simpler. Here we have some Dijon mustard, and here we have some grade B maple syrup. Now, I like these kind of sauces. No muss, no fuss. That's it. It's, you know, it's like honey mustard, only it's maple mustard, and it's a little thinner. It's pourable, and it's just so perfect with the ham. Now, speaking of the ham, I just wanted to mention that when you buy a ham, they come fully cooked, they come partially cooked. Read the back of the package to see what you need to do to the ham to make sure that you cook it properly and take it to the full temperature. In our case, look at this, isn't that gorgeous? We had a fully cooked ham, we were just heating it, which, as I mentioned, means taking it to an internal temperature of 150 degrees. And all you need to do is slice it down to the bone, and then it comes off so nicely. I'll do one more. We're all dying in here. This looks so yummy. And the crust is delicious on the outside. But you need to take some of that fat off before you start, because otherwise there'll be too large chunks of fat. All right, let me get some of this on the plate. Me right now, I'm hungry. I'd take a lot of this, but we won't be too greedy. Fan it out a little bit with that yummy crust on top. And then we spoon our sauce over, and there you go. Perfect for a holiday party, and the sauce was easy, the ham was easy, the crust was easy. You can do that. A little watercress. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about maple syrup and all the different kinds.
Out of style. So I'm going to hit the road in search of authentic dishes. I'm going to track down the experts who make them, find out their secrets, and then I'm going to make my own ultimate recipe.
There seems to be as many ways to cook a chicken as there are days in the year, and some of the recipes actually come from all over the world.